the program director for tonight. In Toastmasters, we call that a Toastmaster. So this is the person that is going to direct the meeting going forward. Over to you, Mr. Flint, DTM.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the virtual gavel, and good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for me to be your Toastmaster on this rather auspicious Toastmasters Forum occasion, and we trust that you're going to enjoy the great program our Vice President Education has served up for us this evening. It is, I'm told, the International Day of Hearing. Unfortunately, our hard of hearing, Rob Scarborough, is not joining us here tonight, but we're not talking about hearing as in trial, but in hearing as in listening. And here in Forum and in Toastmasters, we learn to listen through our communication skills. The theme I have on my program is MEN, M-E-N, what happened. And I think it is of interest that we have a look at what some women have coined men as to be. I've got one here that Alora Swenson said that men are like a deck of cards. You'll find the occasional king, but most are jacks. And one individual he said that he told his wife that a husband is like a fine wine. He gets better with age. And the next day she locked him in the cellar. But ladies and gentlemen, we're very pleased this evening to, as our president said, to have with us two distinguished guests who are going to share their communication skills and information with us. And it gives me great pleasure right now to introduce a good friend of the Forum Toastmasters Club, a gentleman who, with his brother Frank, joined District 74 here in South Africa from Zimbabwe, and within a couple of years have really taken over this district by storm. And a significant input, if you like, to the success of District 74 both have played. Our speaker this evening is a past chairman of the Toastmasters Leadership Institute, and he is, believe it or not, the reigning Toastmasters of the Year within District 74. He is a corporate behavioral skills trainer by profession, and he is an advocate of leadership excellence. Now, you've heard what the president said about being a distinguished Toastmaster. This gentleman is not only a distinguished Toastmaster, he is a distinguished Toastmaster and bar. That in English means he has been or is a distinguished Toastmaster on 2 occasions, twice, for what it's worth. But we're very pleased, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce to you now, to speak to us on the title, In Pursuit of Significance. In Pursuit of Significance, would you all please join me in welcoming distinguished Toastmaster, Mr. Andrew Tsuro.
We do what we have to do in order to do what we want to do. Mr. Toastmaster and gentlemen in this forum, what do we want to do as gentlemen? What do we want to achieve as gentlemen? In my daily life as a corporate behavioral skills trainer, one thing that has become prominent is a topic such as emotional intelligence. And in that topic of emotional intelligence, one of the most prominent elements to remember in that setting is the idea that self-awareness is the beginning of all wisdom. Now, where does self-awareness come from? Self-awareness, for many of us, comes in the 4 identities that make us who we are today. Your remembered identity. What events in the past remind you of yourself? Your reflected identity. What do people remind you about your past? Your programmed identity. What is it that people always call out and say that you will be in future? And the 4th, your created identity. What do you see of yourself in the coming future? Now, all these 4 identities are said to sum up to become what it is that you consider yourself to be today and what you expect yourself to be like tomorrow. And perception is reality, but what's important there is to actually sometimes take a step, look back, and ask yourself, what is it about my past that says this is me? Now, I've taken time to go back and look into my past and ask myself, what is it about my past that has made me who I am today and who I pursue to be in the future? I remember being born as the 2nd child after Frank. Now, most of you know Frank is a stalwart when it comes to anything that he does. He does set the bar. So it was always a challenge because everything that Frank did, I had to try and measure up to it. Now that's a challenge because he doesn't make it any easy. Talk about being his brother's keeper. But it didn't stop there. When I went into school, both in primary and secondary education, I always somehow seemed to always come out 2nd place. In my academics, I would always be 2nd place, year in, year out. In the sporting field, yeah, they didn't know my name. When it comes to other facets of my friendships, I never got to have the title of best friend. I always was that other friend in any relationship. And so it made it difficult for me to always want to contribute. But that made my motivation towards me trying to always be the best in any setting I found myself to be in. What was I in pursuit of? Significance. What are you, gentlemen, in pursuit of? As a young child, you might have been in pursuit of just being your parents' favorite, like I was trying to be. You may consider to have tried to be significant as gentlemen in the ladies, the cool ladies in the school. You may have considered to be significant on the sporting field, on the rugby field. They needed to know that you are there. What about now? What about today? What about in today's society? What are you in pursuit of? What is significant in your life? Is it your family? Is it your career? Or is it what you're contributing to society? For me, it was very much important at that age as a teenager to make sure that whenever I walked into a room, everyone turned their heads to try and recognize me. And that I hoped by whatsoever way I would at least be contributing to some form of significance into the communities I was a part of. And the moment I eventually did so, I got my colors academic blazer, and I was so proud. In fact, I think I got a little bit of some, what they would call overconfidence. Now, with having overconfidence, I felt significant in my own personal space, but most importantly, I felt it's necessary for me to let everyone else know that this is what I'm significant in. I passed with flying colors for my, what we would call our O-level, ordinary level certification, and I was the talk of the school. Now, suddenly, whenever I walked into a room, everyone could recognize that Andrew has walked in. 2 years later, I was sitting down for my advanced level exams. Maybe to tell the story of how that came to be, I had been the head prefect of that school. I was one of the honorable junior councillors participating in the cultural and societal development of the city I was in, one of the only 60 students in that city. What was significant was all the other initiatives I participated in, be it in the service setting of going to support and help children in children's homes, or in setting up debate championships and being a champion, bringing trophies to the school. My aim was to be significant in that school, that no year would pass by without them referring to the year they had an Andrew in their class. But that all ended right after I received my paper, my slip of results. All that significance I'd worked for was flushed down the drain when the results I carried were not significant to the people that were significant to me. The results of your actions ought to be significant to the people that are significant to you. Gentlemen, I ask again, who is significant to you? In pursuing all these other initiatives that I was a part of, it was important that my name be significant to the school. And I realized that it took a small slip of a paper to get that significance off my badge. I went through depression simply by looking at my results. I was defeated every time everyone asked me how well I had done. In fact, I started thinking that they were waiting for my downfall. Have you ever felt that sometimes people are waiting for your downfall? That's not entirely true. They were expectant based on my previous results. And this time around, I was deflated having to share with them the said results that I didn't do as well as I had done. Sometimes life knocks us down so that we can be able to identify what's really important. And maybe, gentlemen, we need to try and come back and ask ourselves, what do we really want? What kind of significance are we after? I'm grateful to a group of men and women, a group of people that have formed a community of ensuring that I identified what was significant in my life. They helped me identify a sense of purpose, a sense of contribution, a sense of significance that really mattered. In service, we become significant to other people that are significant to us. Our society today, gentlemen, requires us not to remain silent, but to use our skills and our God-given talents to then become significant in our societies. Whether it's talking about gender-based violence because you have the influence, whether it's talking about leaders with integrity because you believe in it, or whether it's just being present, showing up for your family and the people that really need your presence, the people that consider you to be significant. Gentlemen, we need to show up. We need to be significant in the sense of what matters. And if you don't know where to start, Toastmasters was my starting point. A group of supportive and positive people that helped me, mentored me, guided me, and gave me feedback on every initiative. And slowly and surely, I started to feel significant. You know the significance is such of importance when you have a sense of fulfillment when you go to bed every night, simply because you've made someone's life better. You've become significant when you feel fulfilled by the efforts and the work that you do in contributing to the betterment of our society. You know you've been significant when you feel you've done your part. As gentlemen, our role is not to watch others do what they do, raise our hands and point fingers at others. Our role is to protect those that need our protection because of our ability to do so. Our role is to lead. And there is no better platform. I repeat, there is no better platform other than this illustrious world-leading leadership organization called Toastmasters to help us find our significance. With a group of people who, as they say, you're the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. I'm the average of every Toastmaster that has given me feedback, guided, mentored, and ensured that they helped open doors towards what was significant. Today, I live a fulfilled life because I'm in a career that has helped me become more prominent in my field, simply because a Toastmaster helped me open the door towards that career. I'm in a happy relationship with my family and friends because Toastmasters gave me the communication skills that were essential to either listen and or receive feedback so that I can be a better somebody today and tomorrow. I feel passion and joy in helping other people become better because the platform allows us to. We do what we have to do in order to do what we want to do. What do you want to do, gentlemen of the forum? Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Andrew Tsuro. Someone once said, being a good man is something you do, not something you are. I guess in your case, you are a DTM, but you do it right. And what an interesting background as to your pursuance of where you wanting to be, adding some significance in your life and to others. And I guess we as Toastmasters can appreciate the success that you have had as a member of District 74 over the last few years. Thank you for sharing that message with us all here this evening.